Hi sweeties, welcome back to my channel. Hope you all are doing great. In today's tutorial, we'll be learning how to cut and sew this beautiful crop jacket with a wing collar and a flap pocket. So if you love this outfit and you want to know both the cutting part and the sewing part, make sure you watch this video till the end. Please don't skip any parts if you want to know everything about the making of this jacket. Thank you very much, and let's quickly get started. So this is my fabric. I folded it once. I'll be cutting the front part first. So the first measurement I'll be taking is 3 inches, and this 3 inches will serve as the button and buttonhole stand. So I'll go ahead and take the full length of my jacket. And the full length of my jacket is about 22.5 inches. So I added 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. So I will take these 3 inches to the down part of my jacket. So you can see me doing. So after that, the next measurement I will take is the front neck depth. This 3 inches I'm taking is just for guide. So this jacket is actually a V-neck, but the neck width is 3 inches. So the 3 inches neck depth is just for guide for now. So I'll go ahead and connect them together. So the next measurement I will take is my shoulder measurement, which is 16 inches. I will divide that by 2 and it will give me 8 inches. So on that 8 inches, I will come down by 1 inch, and this 1 inch will serve as my shoulder slope. Remember, this is a sleeveless jacket. So I will go ahead and indicate my chest line from my shoulder. You already know how to get your chest line. Your bust measurement divided by 6 plus 1.5. So under my chest line, I will take my shoulder measurement again, which is 8 inches. Then I will now rule a line across. So this line now is my chest line. So I will now connect it to my armhole line. Can you see? From my shoulder, I rule a line down to my chest line, and that will serve as my armhole line. So the next measurement I will take is my bust point, which is 10.5, my under bust, which is 14 inches, then followed by my half length, which is 16.5 inches. So these are all my vertical lines. So the next measurement I'm taking right now is my nipple to nipple measurement. So I'm taking this nipple to nipple measurement line from the length of my jacket to my chest line. So I will go ahead and take all my darts. On that end line, I will take 3/4 of an inch on the both side. So on my half length, I will take 1¼ inches on the center front, then 1¾ inches on the side front. So I'll go ahead and connect them to the down parts. So the same measurement I took on my half length is the same that I took on my under bust. So from my bust point now, I will come down by 3/4 of an inch, then I will go up by ½ an inch. That's from my bust point. So the next thing I will do is to connect my dart curve from my under bust to my bust point. So I will now come to my armhole line. I will indicate the midpoint of my armhole. So from that midpoint, I will come down by 3/4 of an inch. I will go up by the same 3/4 of an inch. So on that down one, I added 2 inches because of the 1.5 inches that I'll be cutting out. So I have to add to the side front so that it will not be shorter when I'm joining them together. So I will now add the upper one to the center front. Can you see that? So I will come to that 3 inches. I will indicate it because it's for the button and buttonhole stand. So I'll go ahead and take all my horizontal measurements. Always remember to replace any dart you are cutting out. So I'll add all my horizontal measurement and I will add 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. You can add 2 inches. So this will now serve as my new armhole line. So after joining them together during the time I want to trim, so I will now cut the main armhole. So I'll go ahead and cut. Can you see what I'm doing? So this is the center front. I will indicate the 3 inches with a notch at the down parts. So this is how I'll be folding it. That's the button stand and the buttonhole stand parts. So I have cut out the center front. So this right now is the side front. I'm not using lining for this jacket, but it's advisable to use lining, and you can actually add your hairstay too. So I'll go ahead and cut the back part. So I'm taking 1 inch for my back neck depth. So because I'll be joining the back, so I will take 3.5 inches for the neck width. 1/2 inches I'll be using it for joining. So after that, I will go ahead and take my shoulder measurement, which is 16 inches divided by 2. I'll go ahead and take my shoulder slope 1 inch, then I'll connect it to the back neck width. So from my shoulder, I will come down to my chest line. I've already told you how to get your chest line. So on my chest line, I will take my shoulder measurement divided by 2 again, which is 8 inches. So I will now connect it. Can you see? I'm running a line across. So I'm connecting it to this shoulder line. I'm connecting it to my shoulder, sorry. What is wrong with my head? So the next measurement I will take is my half length, which is 16 inches from my shoulder, then down to the length of my shirt jackets, which is 24 inches. Remember, it's 22.5 inches. I added 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. So the next measurement I will take is my nipple to nipple measurement. So I will take it from my chest line to the length of my jackets. Then on my half length, I will take my darts. I'm taking that of half an inch for the both sides. So at the center back, I came in under my half length line. I came in by half an inch. You know, this is a jacket. Just the same thing you do when you're sewing a blouse with zip. So because your back is not straight, so it's always okay to go in by half an inch or 3/4 of an inch on your half length. So you now connect it to the bust line, then to the length of my jacket, the down part. Can you see that? So I'll come to my armhole line. I will divide it by 2. That's the midpoint. So I'll now connect it to my dart line. That's my nipple to nipple line. Can you see that? So I've already formed both my center back and my side back. So I'll go ahead and take all my horizontal measurements, my round half length or round under bust, because whatever you measure on your round under bust is the same measurements we normally take on our half length. So I'll take all my horizontal measurements. I will add 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. So I'll now connect it to the down parts. Can you see that? So I'll go ahead and cut. That's my center back. And this is my side back. Can you see that? Can you see I folded the buttonhole stand? Can you see how I folded it? I folded it twice. So I'll be stitching on it. So after stitching, this is how I'll be joining the center front and the side front. So I'll do the same thing to the back parts. Can you see? I'll stitch on the both sides. So that's it for that. So I'm done doing that. So the next thing I will do after joining the side front to the center front is to top stitch on it. So if you watch that video very well, you know that I top stitch on the dart line, both the back and the front. So this is what it is. So I've stitched on the buttonhole stand. So you push your seam allowance to one side. Then you now top stitch on the dart line. So after top stitching the front dart line, I will do the same thing to the back part. So I'll go ahead and take my last trimming for the back parts. So I'll go ahead and take my back neck depth and neck width. I'm taking 3 inches by 1 inch, 3 inches neck width and 1 inch neck depth. Since I've joined the center back, so I'll take my shoulder measurement divided by 2, that will give me 8. So I came down by 1 inch, which will serve as my shoulder slope. Then I will indicate my chest line. So on that chest line, I will also take my shoulder measurement, which is 16 inches divided by 2, and that will give me 8 inches. So on that chest line, I will take my round bust measurements divided by 4. So I will input whatever it is on that chest line. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up and share with your colleagues. So on that down part, I came up by 1.25 inch because I don't want that part to be so straight. So I came up by 1.25 inches. So I'll go ahead and take I'll go ahead and cut them out. This is the back part. So this is my armhole. I'll cut out the neck, then the shoulder slope. So this is it for the back. So I'll pick the front parts. Can you see the top stitch? So I will join the two front parts together, the two sides. So I'll go ahead and take my neck width 3 inches by 7 inches neck depth. That's a V-shaped line. A V-shaped neckline. I'll take my shoulder measurements, 16 divided by 2, and that will give me 8 inches. So I'll connect from my neck width to my neck, to my 7 inches neck depth. So I'll cut out the V-neck line. So I'll take my bust measurements. See, I came in by, from the midpoint of my armhole line, I came in by 3/4 of an inch. So this particular armhole I'm cutting out is a standard armhole for a dress or shirt that has a sleeve. But because this particular jacket doesn't have a sleeve and it's almost like a C-cut, so from my neck width, I measured 2.5 inches. So I'll now connect the 2.5 inches to my armhole. Can you see? So this is a C-cut, almost like an halter neck. So this is the front. So this is the front and the back parts together. So I place the front parts on the back part to cut out the armhole. Can you see what it look like? So both the front and the back part, they are here together. So the next thing I will do is to locate the point where I will stitch my flap pocket. So from the center front, I measure 2.5 inches in. So I'm trying to join it together so that I will have an accurate measurement for the other side. So that's my half length line. That's where I stitch my flap pocket. So I will now measure the 2.5 inches again. So this is now for this other side. So this is what my flap pocket look like. Sorry, can you see? It's just 4.5 inches wide. So I'll stitch them together. Can you see? So I stitched on the 3 sides. So the part I will be stitching, I did not stitch on that side. So I stitched them, then turn it to the right side. I stitched them together on the wrong side, and I turn it to the right side and give it a good press. Can you see the armhole? I turn the armhole with a bias. So this is what it look like. Can you see my jackets? So the next thing I will do is to go ahead and cut my wing collar. But before I do that, I have to measure from the center back to the front parts, you know, the V neckline I cut. So I have to measure from my center back to that place. But make sure you don't sew it to the end. you have to fold the part where you have your, can you see where my hand is? My finger is, that's where you have your buttonhole stand. So whatever you have, that's what you will cut. My own is 19 inches. So remember this thing I'm going to cut, I'm cutting it on fold. It's on fold. I folded it, you know. So I will now take 19 inches divided by 2. That will give me 9.5. So that's what I have where I just rule a line across. So I will now take another 6.5 inches. So this 6.5 inches will be the part that will form the wing collar. Can you see? So I'll go ahead and cut it out. So I'll cut 2 of these. I'll be lining it. You now have to turn it. So that's what I mean. Can you see what it look like? So I will now use the first one to cut this. So this is the wing part. The other 9.5 is the part I will sew to my neck. Can you see? So I will open it, then I'll place one on top of each other. Then I will go ahead and stitch. I will stitch this part, see my finger. Then I will stitch the other parts. So the part I will stitch to my shoulder, I'm not stitching it. Can you see what I've done? You see this part, I did not stitch it. So after stitching, I turned it, then I give it a good quality press. So I'll go ahead and fold it into 2. I will indicate the middle so that one part will not be longer. So the same thing I'm doing here, I will start my stitching from my center back. So I'll sew one side first to the front, then one side to the other front part. Can you see? So I'll place it. I'm sewing from the wrong side of my jacket. That's from the back side. So I'll now flip it to the front part. Can you see? Remember to sew from the inside. That's the wrong part. Can you see? So after that, I will do a top stitch on the collar inside so that it will relax. So the next thing I will do is to cut that little V at the front. If you watch the jacket very well, so I'll come in by 1 inch. By 1 inch. The jacket is not very long, and I don't want the tummy to show like the model at the thumbnail. Can you see? So I came in. Can you see it? So I didn't go deeper. So this is how I'll be turning it. I'll be turning the brown part with my bias. Can you see? Because I've already turned the collar stand. So make sure that you leave some extra when you are turning it. Can you see my bias? So guys, we are almost to the end of this tutorial, and I hope you have given this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel, share this video so that others will see and learn from it. Here comes our jacket. I've not fixed the button yet, so I'm here to fix the buttonhole and the buttons. Thank you so very much for watching. Bye.